Hello, everyone. Vanessa Kelman here, introducing the second book in the Fate Trilogy, Accepting Fate. So, the way the Fate Trilogy works is that they are kind of spin offs of each other. They're standalone stories, but they reference characters that we've met in the previous book. So, if you decide you just want to read this one, that's okay. You'll be fine with that. But if you want to read it as a continuation of Chasing Fate, that is perfectly fine too. Let's start with the summary on the back, and then we'll dive into a little sneak peek of how it sounds. Here we go. Sometimes relationships do more harm than good. 3 years after her divorce, Mary still finds herself in the shadow of her marriage. Timid, passive, and thoroughly fed up with both, she decides it's time to take back her life. Fellow teacher Kelly is fed up with the dead end relationships that continue to leave her feeling hollow and dejected. Just as Mary is deciding it's time to make some changes, Kelly finds she's in the same position, and they turn to each other for support as they recreate who they really are. As Mary and Kelly help each other through the struggles they encounter, they find that maybe it's not about changing who you are, but accepting who the changes in your life have made you. Let's see what it sounds like. Chapter 1. If Mary hadn't been so depressed, it would have been a perfect wedding. The air was cool, and a light breeze blew Melanie's veil as she walked down the brick pathway. Mary felt tears fill her eyes as she saw the look on Bobby's face. She could tell he was nervous, but his eyes lit up as Melanie came into view. Mary sniffled into her tissue and looked down at her hands. It had been a while since she had attended a wedding. The last one may very well have been her own 5 years ago. She didn't begrudge Bobby and Melanie their happiness. They were a beautiful couple, sweet and loving. Watching them together, she was happy for them. But she couldn't help being a little jealous, too. She had never had that contentment with her ex husband. The entire time they had been together, she had felt like she was playing a part, that she was doing what she was supposed to be doing rather than what she wanted to be doing. It had been very surreal. Since the divorce, she wasn't even sure how to act, what to do. She wasn't even sure who she was. The reception was a blur. Mary watched the dance floor, wishing she had someone to be out there with, knowing that even if she was still married, she would be sitting on the sidelines as always. Melanie found her sitting at an empty table. Hey, Mary, having fun? It's a wonderful reception, Melanie, and you are a beautiful bride. Melanie glowed as she took a brief look around. I feel beautiful and happy. Mind if I have a seat? Of course not. Mary gestured to the chair beside her. I couldn't help but notice that you were looking awfully lonely over here. Why aren't you out dancing? Mary shrugged. I guess I've always been more of an observer. But you want to be out there. I can tell by your expression. Mary shrugged again. I'm not much of a dancer. Are you okay? Mary turned to Melanie in surprise. Of course, why wouldn't I be? I just know the look. It's your wedding day. You shouldn't be worrying about me. You should be enjoying yourself. I am, but I still care. If you ever need to talk, let me know. Thanks, Melanie, but I'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to go mingle a bit. You should get out on the dance floor. Nobody cares if you don't know what you're doing as long as you're having fun. I'll remember that. Melanie gave Mary a quick smile before leaving to find her new husband. Mary sighed and watched her go. She liked Melanie. Melanie had been through a lot, that much she knew, though she didn't know many details. But Melanie had been able to turn her life around. It gave Mary hope that maybe she could do the same. That's what I should do, Mary told herself, sitting up a little straighter. Instead of getting depressed that I could be losing one of my best friends, I should use it as motivation. She could turn her life around. She could be happy. She deserved to be happy. Mary watched the rest of the guests smiling and laughing. She should be out there with them. Maybe she wasn't ready to throw caution to the wind and embarrass herself by dancing, but she shouldn't be sulking by herself either. She knew people here. She should be socializing, chatting. Her friend Maddie, Bobby's sister, was sitting at a nearby table. With determination, Mary stood up and walked over. Mary, how's it going? Mary plastered a smile on her face. Great, how are you? Can't complain. The kids are actually behaving for once, so I don't have to stress. Wasn't the wedding beautiful? Mary spent the next few hours being a social butterfly. By the time she got home, she was exhausted, but she felt good for putting herself out there. Maybe that was what was wrong with her. She never made the first move. She was always shy, timid, waiting for life to come and get her. Maybe it was time she went out and got a life instead. With a quick pat on the head for her cat Izzy, she filled up his food and water dishes and got ready for bed. Tomorrow was another day, and she would make it a good one. Chapter 2. The clothes were scattered on the lawn by the time Peter returned to the apartment building. Kelly could hear his shouts from 3 floors up. She hoped he would get the picture and that there wouldn't be a scene. But moments later, she heard his heavy footsteps pounding up the stairs. "What the hell?" he yelled when he opened the door. "Why's all my stuff on the lawn?" "Think about it, Pete. I'm sure it'll come to you." She refused to move from the doorway. As far as she was concerned, he no longer lived there. "I've no idea what you're talking about." "Does the name Jennifer Blake mean anything to you?" "No." "Really? Because she called for you 5 times. 'I need you now,' she left on the voicemail. 'Last night was amazing.'" "You checked my voicemail?" "You left your phone here. I got tired of hearing it ring. The 5th time I answered and asked who the heck it was. When she told me, I got curious." "You had no right to go into my phone." "No right? I had no right. I pay that stupid phone bill. I pay the rent. I pay the electricity, the cable, the heat. I let you stay here. I was stupid enough to think you cared about me. I was stupid enough to care about you. And I have no right?" I was civil, cordial even, to the bimbo on the phone. She got attitude with me, a snide, "I know more than you" tone. And you know what? She can have you. I certainly don't want you. "Kelly, I don't know anything about this." Kelly shot him a look that made him take a step back and look away. "Fine, okay, Jen's a friend." "Is that what they're calling them these days? Here I thought it was a whore." "Jen's not a whore." "No? Then why is she going around sleeping with other people's boyfriends?" "Fine, you know what? I'm out of here." As if you had a choice in the matter. She slammed the door in his face and fell onto the sofa, seething. How could she have been so stupid? By now she should have recognized the signs. Lord knows she had been through it enough times. But this was it. She had had enough. She was through with men, through with the headaches, the heartache, and the frustration. If this latest incident had proven anything, it was that she had horrible judgment when it came to guys, and she refused to fall victim to it anymore. After several moments, Kelly's anger subsided. She wasn't sorry about Peter, not really. Mad at herself, yes. She should have known better. They were all the same. Kelly stood up and moved aimlessly around the apartment. She felt lost without someone to pick up after, someone to worry about. Eventually, she stepped into the kitchen and washed the few dishes that were in the sink. When that was done, she went back to wandering. The closed door caught her eye. She had gotten so used to ignoring it that she almost forgot the room even existed. As she pushed the door open, her life before Peter came into view. The easel, the canvases, the paints and brushes, all represented a part of herself that she had spent the last 8 months trying to suppress. And for what? Another broken heart, more wasted time, and a lost, confused feeling. Enough was enough. She wasn't just through with men. She was through with hiding who she really was. She was leaving this door open and doing something with the contents of this room. It was time to take back control over her life. So there you go. We have met Mary and we have met Kelly and started to see where they are in their lives. If you'd like to learn more and see how they do on their journeys of rediscovery, pick up Accepting Fate. Available a whole bunch of places. You'll find links in the comment there below. And make sure you check it out. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.